There's a roller toward Green at third. He handles, throws to first in time. Helton takes the extra 90 feet on the play. Might prove to be a big base running move by Helton. Again, Rain throws that fork ball. If one gets away from Girardi, he would be able to score here with 2 outs.
I don't think you can let Rain face Walker in this situation. We'll see what Don Baylor has in mind. There's a very good fork ball. Cirillo just beats it into the turf. And Helton, knowing that Willie Green has to make the play and come charging, goes to third base.
Well, we'll see what Walker does here. He's 2 for 3. He scored both runs, and Rain works off the windup now. That's high for ball 1. Ball 2. Line drive right field deep. Sosa on the run. He's got it. And that retires the side. Boy, the Cubs played with fire. Walker hit a bullet. Sosa caught it. And Colorado fails to score in the 8th. Sammy's going to lead it off, and let's see if we can get the lead.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 8 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tinamag kabajinja kambanja sa Bloemfontein kwi wrestling. Kota makasiqale eMaritzburg Classic. Ifikile le meaning kulu makebe ka dithetho ngayo ko khangele minyaka la ba.
Here's your chance to be the official Toyota everyday fan of the game. During the 5th inning of every Cubs game on Fox Sports Net, we'll randomly select one lucky fan of the game. If Chip and Steve read your name and the Cubs score in their half of the inning, you'll win a Toyota Fox Sports Net prize package, including a hat, t-shirt, and a pair of Cubs tickets. To enter, send in a postcard to Toyota Everyday Fan of the Game, 350 North Orleans Street, Suite S1-100, Chicago, Illinois, 60654. Now that's fantastic. Fox Sports Net, home of the Cubs.
Fox Sports Net's coverage of Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. Hyundai, where driving is believing. Your local Ford store. Quality people, quality products. AT&T Cable Services. And by Toyota. See your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Toyota dealers. Real value every day.
Best chance for the Cubs now in the late innings. The heart of our order, Sosa, Grace, and then the pitcher spot is due in the 8th inning of a tie game. A lot of big Cub fans on hand today. A huge crowd trying to see the Cubs win another series. We're tied despite ourselves today.
Some very shaky base running in that 7th inning. So the Cubs get a run on 3 hits. Got a base on balls, an error on the part of the Rockies, and still can only manage 1 run.
And Sosa takes a quick strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty action in the Colorado pen.
Looks like Jimenez is the right-hander.
Mike Myers the southpaw. Wasden, the third Rocky pitcher today. Over but low to Sosa. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals are in Montreal tonight. St. Louis's lead in the Central. now 4.5 games. The Reds were losers today. Cardinals had dropped 7 of 10. A win would be nice for the Cubs, obviously. And Sosa had a home run cut. The Cardinals send Pat Henkin to the mound. He'll seek his 10th victory of the year for the Cardinals. A long ball gives the Cubs the lead. Nowhere near. Ball 2. Sammy with a double back in the 3rd inning. Chance a drive, belted deep left field. Cubs have the lead. Wow! Number 33, one behind Sheffield, and the Cubs one ahead of Colorado.
Well, 2 nights ago, the first man that Wasden faced was Mark Grace, and he hit a home run. The first man of the inning Wasden faced, Sammy Sosa, unties the game. And I think that is going to be it for Wasden, as Myers will come into the game, and the Cubs have the lead.
They call him way back Wasden in Boston. He gives up some major league yardage. He gives up number 33 to Sosa. Sammy now with 4 hits, making 5 hits against the Rockies, 3 of them home runs. And this one a no-doubter.
Well, he got to 2 and 2, and then Sammy fouled one back, but the hanging breaking ball is just crushed. So it's now Myers against Grace. It's Aguilera in the bullpen. He'll try to wrap it up. He would dearly love an insurance run.
So Wasden gives up a run in a 3rd of an inning, and our prime call to the pen sees Myers come on to face Grace with the Cubs in front by a run.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? With everyday low fares on Southwest Airlines, flying to BWI is your best route to the capital.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tinamakabatsinja kambanjira se Bloemfontein kwi-wrestling kodwa makasiqale eMaritzburg Classic. Ifikile le mini nkulu madoda bekade thethwa ngayo khangele iminyaka la namkelekile manene nani manenekazi ifikile mina bezilindele imine enkulu kakhulu namhlanje kuzoqhawuka
perfectly positioned, different from anything else. Keister kicking Magnum V8. So what's the big deal? Generous cash allowance with 2000 Dodge Ram. Cash allowance. No wonder Dakotas move so fast. But there's a load more. But with 2000 Direct. Make you feel good all over. Almost everything. Oops. Anything less doesn't cut it. Dodge. Different.
The wind has really started to pick up now. Cubs have the lead. That might be even better news as we get ready for the 9th inning. It's Grace against Myers.
Myers is a specialist. He usually comes out for one hitter. And with that, Jimenez throwing in the bullpen. Chad Myers in the on-deck circle.
He would bat for Rain, who could pick up the win. Grace takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. inside out swing and a sinking liner nabbed by Cirillo. Good play. You're more surprised when he doesn't make a play than when he does make a spectacular play.
Now Chad Myers will come on to pinch hit. And what an effort by Cirillo.
So it's a Myers versus Myers matchup. White Sox have a backstop combination of Johnson and Johnson.
They do.
So Rain, an inning and 2/3 worked. 1 hit, 1 walk. No strikeouts, but he's in line to pick up the win. A strike to Chad Myers. Three to 2, the Cubs lead. As Sammy Sosa hits a rocket out of the ballpark in left center field. Plenty of Myers.
Our cameraman is also Mike Myers. Both Chad Myers and the pitching Mike Myers.
Gary Sheffield, 34 homers. Bonds and Sosa, 33. Ken Griffey Jr., 32. Chad hits a fly ball into straightaway center. Hunter comes in now. Can't play too deep, as the wind's going to push it back toward the infield. There's out number 2. Looking ahead to the ninth, Rick Aguilera will have the 7, 8, 9 hitters due for Colorado. And here's Willie Green, who is breathing at the moment a very big sigh of relief that Sosa picked up the ball club. A fielding error, a base running error, and they were both very big plays in the game. One ball, no strikes. We're off to San Diego after the game today. Our 4-game set starts tomorrow. Strike 1. A win by the Cubs gains us a game on Cincinnati. They've already dropped a 1-run decision, 2-1 to the Mets. It's 2-1. And after the road trip again, Reds and Cardinals will be in Chicago. Three balls and a strike as we approach the 4 o'clock hour.
Well, if Myers doesn't get Green, he's not going to be around to face Buford, I don't believe. I think that would be left up to Jimenez. Olivelle does not want to get down any further than the 1 run he's down already, knowing that with the wind blowing in, runs are tough to come by.
High fly ball left side. Collinsworth comes charging in and has to hustle to make a diving catch. Again, the wind playing tricks in the outfield, but the wind could knock down a screaming liner by Sammy Sosa. His solo home run puts the Cubs in front, and Rick Aguilera will try to save the day.
Perfectly positioned, different from anything else. Keister-kicking Magnum V8. So what's the big deal? Generous cash allowance. 2000 Dodge Ram. Cash allowance. No wonder Dakotas move so fast. But there's a load more. Up to 2000 Direct. Make you feel good all over. Almost everything. Oops. Anything less doesn't cut it. Dodge. Different.
Size 8?
Last pair.
This is from that guy right over there. Can't blame the guy for trying.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Cubs fans, come early and save big with the Cubs Early Bird Discount. During the first hour, the gates are open. Enjoy 25% off all food and non-alcoholic beverages. For hot dogs, pizza, Pepsi, and more, catch the Cubs Early Bird Discount.
Labor ready. Dependable temporary labor.
It's Floppy Hat Day Sunday when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Let's go Fire! Our producer of Cubs baseball on Fox Sports Net is Bob Albrecht. Our director, Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Joe Corneo. Stage manager, Kathy Kerr. The production manager, Moheen Ramsey. And the executive producer is Dan Lafferty. Rick Aguilera comes on with the wind blowing straight in. Cubs leading 3-2. And again, the Rockies might become the first team since the 43 Brooklyn Dodgers to lead the league in hitting but finish last in home runs. And that is a big, big confidence builder heading to the ninth inning.
Rick Aguilera comes on looking for save number 25. And this is 45th appearance. And he'll face the bottom part of the order. So 1, 2, 3, and it's on to San Diego with a very happy bunch of Cubs. And let's hope that Aggie can throw as well as he threw the ball in the first game of the series, where he threw a perfect ninth inning, fanning one and picking up save number 24.
This has been an amazing series. In 3 games so far between these two teams. Again, we're facing a Colorado ball club that leads the National League in hitting. 10 runs total, 33 hits total by both teams combined. Amazing. Here's Hollinsworth hitless. Big hero yesterday in Colorado's 2-1 win. He drove home the game-winning run in the 8th inning. Rain could win it. Wasden could lose it. The Cubs could get back to 6 under. Ground ball weakly hit to Young. Ewise got it. 1 down in the ninth. Cubs could go to 3 over at home. Boy, this team really has turned things around on the Wrigley Field turf.
They've been doing it just flat out with pitching. Defense has been good, but the pitching has been terrific. And another fine effort by Ruben Quevedo today, and another fine effort by Steve Rain today.
In fact, in the last 7 games, the Cubs have allowed 9 runs and only 36 hits in 7 games. Incredible. Here's Maine. He's hitless today. High fly ball. That should be a can of corn. Buford drifts back a few steps, and they're quickly 2 men out. 39,000 rises 1.
Wrong part of the day to hit that one. Fortunately, the wind shifted. It's blowing straight in. And the Cubs now 1 out away.
And Jeffrey Hammonds, who has a tight hamstring, will hit for Colorado again. Cubs got a big break yesterday and today. Hammonds wasn't able to play yesterday. Limited to pinch hitting today, and he came into this series tied with Todd Hilton for the National League hit lead. Another frustrating offensive performance for Colorado today. Aggie gets ahead, strike 1. Be careful with Hammonds.
It was Jeffrey Hammonds, I believe, on a play to Willie Green that might have turned around the entire season for Ricky Aguilera. He was struggling. That was the huge play, a bullet at third base. Aggie went on to get the save, and things got a whole lot better for him after that. But it was the same combatants, Aguilera and Hammond.
And look at where Green's playing now. I mean, he's maybe a step and a half off that line here.
Well, now you can live with the single. You just can't live with the double. And the outfield, that's playing a little deeper than normal. So the wind howling straight in. And the Cubs know they've got a 4-hour flight one way or the other. You might as well win it and be happy heading west.
Trying to wrap up a 4-2 modest homestand and win 17 of 22. The pitch, high pop, Wynn's going to push it back toward the screen. Girardi runs out of room. Again, earlier in the day, he's able to make that play. But what Mother Nature gives us, she takes away too. Again, during this stretch, the Cubs have found ways to win. Early in the season, we found ways to lose. And now we're one pitch away, perhaps, from heading out west on another emotional high. Cubs win. Aggie gets him, and it's white flag time again. Another one-run victory. 3-2 your final score. The Cubs gain a game on the Reds in the Central, and now the Cardinals have to win to stay 8.5 ahead of the Cubs.
Tremendous job by Ruben Cabedo. Ricky Aguilera comes on for save number 25. He seems to be throwing the ball better and better as the Cubs are playing much better. They win a couple more series. And Sammy Sosa, the reason why the Cubs win this one, is 33rd home run of the year. He's our Hyundai player of the game. Sammy, wind or no wind, blowing straight in or not, just crushed one onto Waveland. And the Cubs will head west, a happy group.
Steve Rain goes to 3-0. John Wasden, his first National League loss. Ricky Aguilera save number 25, and the Cubs go to 50-56. 30-27 at home, 17-5 in their last 22 games, and we've won 7 of the last 8 series played. The only blemish, that 2-game split with the Philadelphia Phillies. Wow, what a run for the Cubs, Gale and Dave, and the good times just keep on rolling, and hopefully they'll continue tomorrow out west.
All right, thanks, guys. And who would have thunk it, Dave? Wind blowing out. No offense to the two starting pitchers, but you didn't think this one was going to be a real pitcher's duel, but really this entire series, low-scoring, close game.
It has been an outstanding pitched series. Ruben Cabedo went out there and dealt today for the Cubs, and you also have to give credit to Steve Rain, who came in a bases-loaded jam, walked the hitter, and it could have gotten real ugly, but he got out of that jam, and Rick Aguilera, another save. All of a sudden, you see that fork ball that he threw to Hammonds there. That ball disappeared.
Well, solid pitching and defense has been great, especially for the Cubs, and we want to take a look at that a little bit. All 3 games, Dave, that has been the key to victory.
Throwing some leather, and anytime you get good pitching, all of a sudden your defense is that much better, and you saw good defense from the Cubs today early on. First inning with Hunter up. Ricky Gutierrez, who has been outstanding, along with Willie Green. Willie Green ranging to his left. He's playing third base a ton now. Nieves was struggling, and here again in the 3rd inning. Nefi Perez, who can scoot down the line. Willie Green getting after it. Talked about Baby Sarge out in left field, is doing a great job getting good reads out in left field. And Ricky Gutierrez leading the National League in fielding percentage.
Great defense by the Cubs, and the difference today would be Sammy Sosa and his solo homer, number 33 for Sammy on the year. And let's head back out to Wrigley Field and catch up with Chip Carey and Steve Stone. And guys, we talked about Sammy in the pregame, and once again, Mr. National League Player for the month of July comes through for the Cubs.
You're right about that, Gale and Dave. Another magnificent effort by Sammy Sosa, who joins us down on the field. Hey, good to see you smiling again, my friend. Number 33, game winner.
Thank you. Yeah, right now we just unbelievable. We're getting a lot of support for the starting pitching and bullpen, and our defense being unbelievable. So that's the only reason they give us opportunity to go out there and score some run.
Sammy, you got what looked to me like a breaking ball. It was out over the plate. It was down. Could you have ordered it in a better spot?
Well, I remember, I got 3 strikeouts. So the last 2 strikeouts that I have here was, we breaking pitch, and I said to myself, I got to go out there and try to get on base. Let me slow down myself, and even Dan Baylor told me I just only need a base hit. So thank God, he threw me a breaking pitch there right there. So I stay with it, and I got to go counter the ball went out of the ballpark.
Sammy, this ball club now on an unbelievable run. We've won 17 of the last 22 games. It's not coincidental that it comes after your situation has at least been settled for now. You happy?
Definitely. I think after All-Star break, All-Star break, I went to the All-Star break, and I have a great time up there. We have a meeting, and I say to my teammate, I say, hey, right now, we don't have nothing to lose. That's the second half, and I'm back again. I feel happy. I feel that I can go out there and have a great second half, and everybody contributed with it. We say that we don't have nothing to lose in the second half. Let's go out there and have some fun.
Well, that certainly has been the case. The Cubs have baseball's best record after the All-Star break, and still 6 games left with the Reds and 10 more against the Cardinals. And who knows, anything can happen, right?
Definitely. I think, we never give up. That's one thing that, I like about this ball club. Everybody's there. Everybody, is happy right now. We are playing great. Team that, started to come down our way. Defense has been unbelievable. I mean, bullpen, pitching, everything been there. So I think right now, we just got to take it one day at a time and forget about, about all the team.
Well, my favorite shot in all of baseball is to see that smiling face of yours. It's good to see it again. Hopefully we'll see it for many years to come, and hopefully out west as well.
Thank you, fella. Thank you.
All right. Sammy Sosa hits the game winner, number 33. And the Cubs, Gale and Dave, head out to San Diego, mile high indeed, as we beat the denizens of Denver. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, guys. And it is nice to see Sammy smiling again and taking a look at that swing, sweet swing on that home run. And you can definitely tell that baseball is the only thing on his mind right now.
Hey, you got to have fun. And he is certainly having fun. And not only is he swinging the bat, but I thought he did a great job out in right field today, getting some good reads on some balls, especially off left-handed hitters. A couple guys got jammed, put full swings on the ball, and Sammy had to come in. Sometimes you get fooled and go back on that ball. He's getting good jumps out in right field. There's no question he is much happier. Hey, and when you're happier, you're going to play better. Good, contented cows give good milk.
Oh, good one. Okay. I like that. Well, the contented cow in Sammy Sosa is now number 3 on this home run list. You see Sheffield and Bonds both have 34. So I guess you could say technically Sosa is number 2 because he's only 1 behind the leaders now. Who would have thought that, Dave? All of a sudden, Big Mac and Sammy both on this list once again in that home run race. They could finish tops in this by the end of the season. You never know. And the Cubs finish on top of the Rockies today. 3-2 is your final. We've got plenty more to come in this post-game show for the Cubs, including a look at the highlights. Plus, we'll hear from Don Baylor and Rondell White. Stay with us.
There's never been a better time to celebrate owning a new Ford than right now. The Ford Authorized Clearance. The fun, the excitement, the savings. Hurry, the Ford Authorized Clearance. Going on now at your local Ford store. Now that calls for a celebration. Get $750 to $1,500 cash back or 0% financing on select models.
Size 8?
Last pair.
This is from that guy right over there. Can't blame the guy for trying.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Did calls from your wireless phone just get more expensive? Well, no. The Digital Edge Midwest plan from Cellular One. Just $29.95 a month, plus a free Nokia phone. No roaming, no long distance, no question.
When it really counts, you stand your ground. Looks like we've got a lot in common. You can always depend on Chevy to be there for you. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $1,500 cash back on a 2000 Chevy Malibu or take $2,000 cash on a 2000 Cavalier. Don't let the selection pass you by. Make a stop at your Chevrolet dealer today for the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown.
The Cubs win another series, beating the Colorado Rockies today. 3-2 is the final. They have now won 7 out of their last 8 series. And we want to head to Wrigley Field now and hear from Don Baylor as he introduces his newest player, Rondell White.
We still can't score any runs for him. So I'm excited about Ruben just finding his niche right now. He's been in and out of the rotation, back and forth to the minor league. So hopefully he has a spot in our rotation. I think he's kind of earned it right now.
This game sometimes defies explanation. How do you figure this pitching staff all of a sudden, every draw out there now seems to be pitching?
Well, it's a trickle-down effect. You know, everybody wants to win every day. We finally have the right attitude where guys expect to win every day. Even though we look like the bad news bears out there running the bases, but you know we figured out a way how to win a ball game. Well, when it's a chain reaction really. When Joe decided that he was going to go back and tag up, if he's halfway on that, everybody else is watching him. But when the ball bounced out of the glove, that's when everybody started running all over the place. EY was watching the ball. And you always have been taught, you know, you watch the guy in front of you. And Brownie was he was at second base on his way back, and that's when EY ran by him. And that's a no-no. So, you know, Joe had in his mind that he was going to tag up. Even if he catches it, he gets a third. So we still have bases loaded.
How excited are you about the situation here if the Cardinals lose tonight in 7.5 hours?
Oh, I get excited after 4. You know, we still have a ways to go. We're creeping up there. You know, if we get close to that 4, then you can start thinking about the Cardinals, catching the Cardinals. We have 2 teams in front of us right now, so we're trying to space that gap behind us, but not get too excited. You know, just keep playing and see what happens.
Don, who's your pitcher tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night's going to be Phil Norton. I'm going to scratch Carey for precaution. You know, he has a cramp in his left side. That's his twisting side and throwing and the way he throws. I'm not going to take any chances, so I'm going to skip him.
Good rest.
Yeah, I think so. It was better today, but I'm just not going to take any chances with him.
I mean, you seem pretty angry about people this season talking about the injury like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, it's not a big deal. But I think anything with Kerry Wood's name attached to it, it becomes a real big story. It's not his arm. It's nothing else except a cramp that he developed out when he was doing his conditioning. So we're going to leave it at that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with his arm. I could, but I think a full skip turn might help him. He might feel good tomorrow. He might tell me he wants to pitch on Sunday. If he does, he will pitch on Sunday. Great at bat, 2 strikes. I threw him a nice breaking ball. He had thrown one before, so he decided he's going to throw one a little bit better, and he got it up and not down out of the zone. So it worked out well for us. All right.
All right, so Don Baylor giving Sammy some kudos for that home run, and the big news out of that is Kerry Wood, of course, not making his scheduled start tomorrow. He's got a cramp in his left side. I know he was working on that earlier today, so it will be Phil Norton who will get the start up tomorrow, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, we want to head back to Wrigley and introduce you to now the newest member of the Cubs, Rondell White.
You know, the Chicago Cubs, I've been with Montreal, the only thing I've known, so I was a little nervous about everything. You know, I just want to come and to try to play some good baseball and just enjoy the city.
Do you expect to do better off the turf in Montreal, do better on the natural turf here in Wrigley?
Yeah, I do. Hopefully, you know, I can stay healthy. I think the turf been holding me back some. So hopefully coming here playing on grass and in front of a large crowd, you know, maybe I can do okay.
Rondell, can you talk about challenging Andy about making sure you were coming to a winner and the structure of the contract so you can get out of it and working out that way?
Well, you know, I play 5.5 years in Montreal. I think when you're a free agent, you know, you should be able to decide where you want to go. But Andy and the Cubs show a lot of interest in me and how much they want me over here. So, you know, I'm willing to come here and just try to help and do the best I can. Oh, yeah, Willie, we grew up together since we were 11 years old, playing Little League. You know, he's batting first, I was batting third, my brother batting fourth. Won a high school championship together. So we go back when he was small, eating bologna sandwiches.
How about a little bit about the team that had a tradition, at least in the last 40 or 50 years, of losing, and whether that kind of, you had to think twice about that?
Well, you know, I mean, you got to be happy to be playing the game. I think anytime you're playing the game, it's a plus. You got to be you're blessed to put a uniform on every day to go out and play, and you just take it day by day and see what happens.
How would you describe your hitting style? More of a line drive guy, more of a power guy?
I'm a line drive guy. I never hit many home runs. I just can't come here and try to hit home runs. I just got to go and try to hit the ball hard and just try to get on base and score some runs and knock some runs in. It's coming along. Tomorrow I got to go run and test it out. It might be a couple more days, but it's hard to say right now. I haven't ran in 2 days. But hopefully I go to the field tomorrow and feel okay and get back in there as soon as possible. I landed here like at 10:40. Got here about 1:30. Talked to the players, came to the dugout, did my field score and everything.
How'd you enjoy the atmosphere of today's game?
Oh, it's great. You know, you're in the dugout, you look up and you see 35,000 people. You know, it's going to be a thrill to play here. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful city for baseball.
You hit 2 home runs against the Cubs in June. How have you played in Wrigley Field?
I played okay here. You know, I got lucky that game. But, you know, I played okay here. Hopefully I can come here and keep playing well and play hard for the team.
See something in this team when the team was down and come back to pull off a victory today?
Oh, it's great. I mean, playing great baseball, you know. It's a wonderful team, a bunch of great guys. I've known the guys before I came here, and it's a great clubhouse.
Did you get a little excited knowing you're coming to Wrigley Field play?
Yeah, I was excited, a little nervous too, because Montreal, the only thing I've known. So I'm willing to come in, fit in, and like I said, do everything I can.
Any more questions for Rondell? Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Yep.
All right, so Rondell White joins the Cubs. A lot of talk about perhaps he meeting the Cubs in San Diego, but he landed today in Chicago and caught the game from the dugouts.
And I tell you what, he can track him down out in left field. He can run down all kinds of mistakes, and really it's a little bit of an improvement over Henry Rodriguez in left field. You're not going to get the same pop that you did out of Henry Rodriguez, but you get a 300 hitter. I'm a little surprised, stolen bases. He's been battling injuries the last couple of years, his knees and his hamstrings, but when he is right, he can get some stolen bases, make some things happen at the top of the order, along with EY, and Ricky Gutierrez is doing a good job. So it adds that element of speed. Got some great athletes out in the outfield right now, with Damon Buford playing a great center field, and Sammy Sosa playing a better right field. So this is a pretty good outfield right now.
And he got to see his new teammates, meet them, and get to see them play a really good game. Let's now take a look back at these highlights. And we start in the bottom of the first. Ricky Gutierrez at the plate. Brian Rose's pitch not only hits Gutierrez, but hits the umpire.
Hirschbeck got crushed on this. Hit him right in the left wrist. And in yesterday's ball game, the home plate umpire took it in the face. So home plate umpire struggled a little bit, but not the Cubs early on here. Baby Sarge gets fisted, but the RBI gets Gutierrez in to make it 1-zip Cubs.
And the one mistake by Quevedo to Todd Walker there, the solo shot, and the Rockies tie it up 1 apiece. To the 4th now. Todd Walker, the man of the day for the Rockies, lines it to Gutierrez, but what a grab. Nice catch, that defense again, Dave.
Throwing some leather with the exception of Willie Green making an error in this ball game. Flawless defense. Now the Cubs run into trouble here in the 7th with the bases juiced. Steve Rain walks in, Walker, but he gets out of that inning to set up the Cubs' 7th inning. And Willie Green trying to test Larry Walker gets caught in no man's land. Green is out at second.
Still bottom of the 7th now. Let's hear the call for Eric Young.
Young, it's a high fly ball, pretty deep to left. Drifting back, Hollingsworth at the track, at the ivy, leaps up, can't get it, it drops safely. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Girardi.
Well, a great play for Eric Young. Unfortunately, some confusion here, and EY is going to get tossed out, getting caught up, runners getting jammed on the bases.
But Sammy makes it all right, and it's beautiful. When you hit a home run and all those errors go away, Sammy Sosa with the game winner.
All right, Cubs win it 3-2. There's your score, and Steve Rain will take the win for the Cubs. Rick Aguilera gets safe, number 25, and the Cubs are now just 6 games below 500. They win yet another series. Now they head to the West Coast, and we will take a look at a preview of that series when we come back. Stay with us.
Dodge Caravan. Not only the yardstick, the ruler. So what's the big deal? Most popular, most trusted, most loved. Now we have one more trick we'd like to show you. Generous cash allowance of up to $2,000 on the best-selling minivan. Me? I want one of these. I wish. Dodge Caravan. Genuine magic. Dodge. Different.
Honey, do you have the PrimeCo phone?
Yeah, it's in the car.
I sure am glad we got PrimeCo.
Yeah, free voicemail, free caller ID. It was really a no-brainer.
So you think you could give these guys a bat?
Sure. Hey, why don't you turn them loose? We must see a squirrel.
Right now, get a Qualcomm 1960 digital phone free after mail-in rebate. Plus, get 100 anytime minutes for only $19.99 a month.
Go ahead and call. It's PrimeCo.
Size 8?
Last pair.
This is from that guy right over there. Can't blame the guy for trying.
The cold-filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Celebrate all of life's little adventures with style, not to mention with big savings. The Ford Authorized Clearance. Get into Ford Explorer with 4-wheel disc brakes and power everything. America's #1 seller just got more affordable. The Ford Authorized Clearance at your local Ford store. Get $1,500 cash back or 0.9% financing plus $1,000 cash on Explorer.
Sands a drive, belted deep left field, Cub family. Wow! Number 33. Well, Sammy Sosa not only was the hero of today, smacking his 33rd homer of the season, which proved to be the game winner, but he's had an outstanding July. So much so, he was named National League Player of the Month. And earlier before the game, I had a chance to ask Sosa how that felt.
Well, especially, after everything that happened to me before, all that trade rumor, all that stuff, and come down to myself and relaxing and start playing baseball, and now start winning some games. We've been playing really well lately. But, to be a player of the month, that's a good feeling. Hopefully, we just keep it continue winning, because we're playing right now. We're playing really, really awesome, and just got to keep winning and be happy.
All right, very happy Sammy Sosa and happy Cubs team. They keep on winning. And we talked about the Cubs defense earlier in the show and how great they've been playing. And you can't really talk about the Cubs D without mentioning Gary Matthews Jr. and Sarge Jr. playing some great D out there.
He's covering some acreage out in left field. And really his playing time is going to decrease when Rondell White gets right out in left field. But in the meantime, Baby Sarge, he's the 4th outfielder, and he's going to have to play some different positions. Right now, he's playing left field great. It is not an easy position to play, Wrigley Field, left field, particularly the wall in left field. And as Don Baylor's mentioned, he is playing possessed. He is getting after everything, and it's beautiful because he's running down some mistakes, and he's mixing in some knocks. Here, driving in the first run of the game. Now, Sarge, he's got a little bit of a long swing, and a couple times he's gotten tied up, but it's only a matter of him getting consistent at bats and getting short and quick from both sides. He's going to swing the bat for the Cubs also. But it'll be difficult again because now he'll be the fourth outfielder. Won't play on a consistent basis, but at the same time, he's been doing a great job on the outfield.
Well, we heard from Don Baylor talk about his pitching staff and how they can do no wrong lately. He can send anybody out there, and they seem to pitch well. We saw that with Daniel Garibay yesterday, making his first major league start. And then today, Ruben Quevedo can't get his first win. However, he pitched an outstanding game.
Well, I liked his breaking ball today, Gal. He was able to take something off of it and change speeds with it. Later on in the count, he's thrown a good, hard breaking ball. And here's the fastball. Anytime you can flip up that breaking ball and then jump in with that good, hard fastball. He's not going to overpower you with his fastball, but this outing was a boost for Quevedo, particularly the last two.
Only gave up 3 hits and 1 run, walked 2 and struck out 3 over 6 in a third inning. A solid outing for him, and we're going to have a new guy, Phil Norton, again making a start tomorrow. We'll talk about him in just a bit, but first we want to take a trip around the bases and show you this fantastic finish for the White Sox last night in Texas. And the Sox newcomers taking charge. Bottom of the 8th, Harold Baines hits the single to center. That's going to score Maglio Ordonez, and the Sox take the lead 3-1.
And the White Sox give it back, and you have a tie score here. Here in the top of the 9th, Wetland against Charles Johnson, the new backstop for the White Sox. First pitch, solo Johnson to left. Sox win 4-3.
And then today in New York, Kansas City in the second. Todd Dunwoody doubles to right center. That's going to score Dave McCarty. And KC takes the lead 1-0. Then later in the inning, Royals up 2-0. Johnny Damon doubles it to left field, scoring Dunwoody. And all of a sudden, the Royals up 3-0. To the 8th inning. Fly ball, Paul O'Neill to deep left. Chuck Knobloch will score, but too little too late. The Royals snap a 5-game losing streak. They win that one 4-1. Brad Rackey on the mound for the Twins, and they're pounding Baltimore right now in the 6th inning. Oakland all over Toronto 4-2 in the 7th. Detroit leading 4-0 over Anaheim. That one's in the 5th. And tonight, Cleveland looking for revenge over Tampa Bay after yesterday. Cincinnati loses to the Mets. That helps the Cubs out 2-1 the final in that one. And the Dodgers beat up Pittsburgh 11-5. San Fran winning that game. In a couple of late games, the Cards will try to get a win tonight. And Atlanta, Greg Maddux on the mound. He'll face Curt Schilling. Taking a look at the NL Central now, the Cubs gain some ground, at least on Cincinnati, and St. Louis will have to wait to see if the Cards can win tonight. If not, they'll gain even more ground there. Because
only 8?
I know, only 8 and counting. And the Cubs get the victory today, 3-2 over the Rockies. And we'll take a look at the San Diego series when we come back.
Most popular, most trusted, svelte and stylish, race-inspired, grin from gear to gear. So what's the big deal? Big savings, cash allowance. 1,000. Saving money is good. Saving a lot is better. Up to 2,000 cash allowance. Big savings. There is an exception. Get the picture? You want to hurry. Dodge. Different.
Did calls from your wireless phone just get more expensive? Well, no. The Digital Edge Midwest plan from Cellular One. Just $29.95 a month, plus a free Nokia phone. No roaming, no long distance, no question.
The new Playboy is at newsstands now. TV star cover model Sherry Belafonte is looking good in her exclusive 10-page Playboy pictorial. Plus, the wild one, Jennifer Lopez, talks about her quick rise to stardom and having the body everyone is talking about. Also this month, the Playboy Pro Football Forecast, a revealing look at the Navy's prettiest petty officer, and a feature on college gambling. It's all in the new September Playboy magazine at newsstands now. Don't miss it.
Nerves of steel, strength under pressure, cast iron muscle. Looks like we've got a lot in common. Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $2,500 cash back on the 2000 Blazer 4-door or take $2,000 cash on the rugged 2000 S10. This selection won't last, so get to the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown any way you can. Just get to your local Chevy dealer today.
The Cubs, after beating the Rockies, are on their way to California, probably on a plane as we speak, heading out on a West Coast road trip. 4-game set in San Diego over the weekend. That all starts tomorrow, and the Cubs will send Phil Norton to the mound. Kerry Wood will be a scratch for precautionary reasons. He's got a cramp in his left side. So the youngsters getting the look for the Cubs, and the Cub hitters will have to face Brian Tolberg.
And these aren't household names that the Cubs are flipping out there on Quevedo and Garibay, but they've done a good job, and the Cubs looking for Norton to do it against the Padres. Tolberg, this is only his 9th start for the Padres, and the Padres are really scuffling with some of their pitchers, and they're not swinging the bats that well, too. So hopefully the Cubs can win another series.
That's right, struggling altogether, bringing up the bottom of the NL West, while the Cubs crawl their way to the top of the NL Central. For Dave Otto, I'm Gail Fisher. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Merhabalar. Yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları için güzel şehrimiz Diyarbakır'a hoş geldiniz. Evet, yarışmacımız Yaşar yürüyor. Yaşar hazırlanıyor. Mükemmel bir atlayış. Atladı. Çok güzel bir atlayış. Herkes şaşkın. Atlayıştı. Evet, omuz ve baş sallama. Evet, ve Yaşar görünüyor.
It has long been believed the human spirit is comprised of 4 basic elements: earth, air, water, and fire. Fire Soccer rages on Fox Sports Net. So get in touch with your inner spirit and prepare for an onslaught of soccer action Chicago style.
Fire, Prove, September 9th on Fox Sports Net.
This is your full-access Cubs look ahead. The short homestand continues as the Colorado Rockies and slugger Todd Helton invade Wrigley for the only time this year. Then the Cubs hit the surf of Southern California to take on the Padres in a 4-game weekend set. And that is your full-access Cubs look ahead.
Ah, Rookies. You know, when I was a rook, all I had to do was sing my college fight song. But that is not the case for the first-year guys on the north and south side. Let's put it this way. You want no part of the rituals these guys are faced with.
So you want to be a Major League Baseball player, huh? Do you know what kind of things these guys have to do?
The hazing, what we did the other night, was made the guys dress up in different clothes, but then also they had to go out and sign autographs too. And Kansas City's a perfect place to do it because you have to walk out through the people. There's no way that they can't see you, and it's all fun. I think it's more fun for the guys, you know, the veteran guys, to go out. And last year we did it in Anaheim, and we went to the Salvation Army and bought all the clothes, and I think that was more fun than actually watching the guys dress up.
I look great in the dress, you know. I had my beads going, you know, my faux pearls and my pink dress, so a blue dress on with a white top to it, some stockings, some shoes, some pearls, good stuff.
But we went out there, we had to sign autographs in front of the bus and everything, but fans don't really pay attention to that. I had to even ask them, kids, don't you notice I'm wearing a dress? And one of the kids wanted my pearls. So I gave those away.
And which one of these Cub beauties looked like $1 million?
Tell you what, if you like opera singing type women, Steve Ranger, your woman.
Yeah, I'm usually best looking anyway. Just, you know.
This kind of rookie treatment isn't confined to just the Northsiders. The Sox also have fun with their new blood.
That was just something that was kind of passed down to me. Robin Ventura made me carry this lunch pail to the bullpen every day, so I just thought it was something fun for the rookies to do, so I passed it on, and they just have to, you know, Scooby-Doo and some Sesame Street character. We still can't figure out what it is, but it looks pretty, so they carry that.
It's interesting the first couple of weeks to hear some of the rags and insults people come up with, but really after a week or two, they haven't come up with anything new since, and you don't even listen to it anyway.
Oh, well, I mean, guys, before, you know, in the bullpen have done it, so it's just a tradition, and shoot, I'll stay up here and carry that for 10 years. I don't care.
Pretty much it's stuff like they want to get to know you, stuff like that, and some of it's fun, some of it's not fun, but I mean, it's part of it. It's part of being a rookie, and everybody had to do it, so I mean, it's just part of tradition, and everybody's done it in the big leagues. You ask any of the guys that's played in the big leagues, they had to do it.
I'm sure Steve Rain wasn't the only one that looked pretty. And speaking of looking pretty and rookies, hey, where's Mitch Robinson, our rookie here at Full Access? Word is he's looking for a little jewelry, but I'm sure it's for recreational purposes only. Now, one Cub player that isn't even close to being a rookie is the newest member of the 300 Save Club, Rick Aguilera. And those 300 stops didn't come easy. In fact, you may say he has the most difficult job in all of professional sports.
What is the most difficult job in all of sports? NFL quarterback? NHL goalie? Well, how about Major League closer? They call them stoppers. They have one job. Get this guy out now.
It's going to be the last thing people remember, generally, especially if it's a bad day. Good days, you kind of go on and somebody else is the hero and they're talking to them, which is great. But in this role, you have to be able to take the good with the bad and face the music, good or bad.
Good pitch from Aguilera. Bang! It is perhaps the most specialized position in all of sports. Cubs closer Rick Aguilera has earned over 300 saves during his career. He's experienced some incredible highs and some heartbreaking lows.
And he sends a high drive belted deep toward left field. That's long gone. Stinnett has just hit his 7th home run of the year.
But he continues to battle day in and day out. He takes the ball with his livelihood hanging in the balance.
I don't mind the pressure. I don't mind being given the ball. The competitiveness kind of is there. I think I've been kind of gifted with that, and I guess I've had to have that to have had some success.
A dominant closer is a psychological weapon. He can almost intimidate a team into submission.
I think the most difficult part about being a reliever or a closer is just the anticipation of whether you're going to be pitching or not. A lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness prior, just sitting there for 7 or 8 innings watching and anticipating, are you going to pitch? Once the phone rings and your name's called, and you get on the mound in the bullpen, at least personally, all that anxiety seems to kind of go away. You get focused on getting ready to pitch, and when you get there between the lines, it just becomes kind of tunnel vision, and you're focused on what's, it's like you're in your comfort zone as far as all that anticipation is gone. Now you're focused on pitching.
Full count, 3-2, runners lead. There they go, the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Cubs win 4-3. Rick Aguilera shatters Vladimir Guerrero's bat. The Cubs win round 1 of his 3 games.
A stopper's world can be a lonely one, sometimes a hero and sometimes a goat. But after all is said and done and the final out is recorded, his goal is as specific as his position.
That's what we play for, is to be able to high-five and shake hands after a game. That's what you're working out there for 3 hours for, and hopefully have the opportunity to shake hands and have a good night afterwards.
The closer role is without a doubt the toughest job in baseball. Rick Aguilera has had a fine career shutting teams down. Now, with the trading deadline fast approaching and with the departure of Ed Lynch, the Cubs have already made some waves. Now they've sent veteran outfielder Glenn Allen Hill to the Yankees for a couple minor league pitching prospects. Right-hander Ben Ford and left-hander Oswaldo Morena have both been assigned to AAA Iowa. And that was just the start to the changes that took place this past week.
The Cubs under new general manager Andy McPhail have made yet another trade. Ishmael Valdez was sent to the Dodgers in exchange for 2 minor leaguers. Coming over to the Cubs is right-handed pitcher Jamie Arnold and outfielder Jorge Piedra. Valdez returns to the Dodgers after being traded to the Cubs just 8 months ago. The right-handed pitcher had some injury problems early in the season and made just 12 appearances for the Northsiders, compiling a 2-4 record with a 5.37 ERA.
Coming up next, hockey fans head down to the UC and voice their opinions during a town hall meeting with the Blackhawks brass.
When it really counts, you stand your ground. Looks like we've got a lot in common. You can always depend on Chevy to be there for you. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $1,500 cash back on a 2000 Chevy Malibu or take $2,000 cash on a 2000 Cavalier. Don't let the selection pass you by. Make a stop at your Chevrolet dealer today for the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown.
They played in different generations, but they all made history playing for the same team, presenting the 20th Century Sox Contest. Here's your chance to assemble the ultimate all-century White Sox team. Choose one player from each decade, an additional 10 players of your choice, and one manager. Vote, and you'll even have a chance to win a trip for two to White Sox spring training in 2001. Enter online at WhiteSox.com in the Thursday edition of the Chicago Sun-Times Sports section or at Comiskey Park. The 20th Century Sox Contest. Now it's all up to you. These kids are so hungry for a division championship they can almost taste it. And now, so can you. Presenting the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest. Just send in a postcard to Fox Sports Net and include your name, address, and phone number. Each week we'll award a lucky fan 2 White Sox luxury suite tickets and a Fox Sports Net t-shirt. So step up to the plate and satisfy your baseball appetite by entering the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest today. Scores and highlights are only half the story. Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage, more analysis.
This team has unity.
More opinions.
This one's just too good to be true.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Net. Miss it, miss out. So you think you got game, feel the need to trash talk and drive the lane? Well, get ready, because it's time once again for Shoot the Bull. The 12th annual 3-on-3 event returns this year to historic Grant Park, August 5th and 6th, and signing up your team has never been so easy. Just head to www.bulls.com for details and online registration. All your favorite events are back, including the dunk contest, the three-point shootout, and of course, one of the country's biggest 3-on-3 tournaments. Don't delay. Head over to www.bulls.com today.
Welcome back to the show. Now, if you've been following the Blackhawks closely, you know there's been a lot going on this offseason. Transactions seem to take place almost daily, and it's all just a part of the new regime doing their work as Mike Smith and Alpo Suhonen try to get this team back on track. But as you know, change can often bring confusion. So, to clear things up and let the fans know where they're heading, this week the Blackhawks held their first annual town hall meeting.
There's plenty to be answered as the Blackhawks approach the coming season. And the man who is paid to have the answers ready is Mike Smith, who is expecting just about anything before the meeting.
I'm sure the questions will be fair, might be tough at times. It'll cover a wide spectrum.
If you had to make a gentleman's wager on what the very first question would be, what would you put your money
on? It'll probably be either local TV games or the first row seats, the price of those tickets.
Actually, it took 45 minutes before either of those topics came up.
When is the Blackhawks going to be on TV?
Many of you know our philosophy, and I'm not going to say that we haven't changed an organization either. In the last 5 years since I've been more heavily involved in the organization, there's been a tremendous amount of change. And we will continue to evaluate it and consider.
What makes Blackhawks fans special, though, is not only do they know their own team backwards and forwards, they know a lot about the guys around the NHL as well.
Mr. Smith, supporter and a big fan of Keith Kachuk's, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other people here that echo the same thing.
I said, you know, you've been shopping around the league and you haven't called Chicago, and every time I've called you, you've put me off. So, anyways, that's a conversation took place less than a week ago.
When we were possibly going after Dallas Drake and Sean Hill and a couple other folks, I don't know if it's the team that should be calling the player, going after him full force if they think that's the player they want, or if it's the player's responsibility to call the team.
I'm always leery of people who sign the first day. Sometimes you think there is some pre-negotiations being done. He was gone by noon of the first day. We never had a conversation.
I wondered what you think of Anson Carter and if you will try to pursue him this offseason.
I'm not an Anson Carter fan. He doesn't show up every night.
Any Hawk fan knows it's 3 seasons in a row without a playoff berth. More alarming to Hawks management is the 5 years that have gone by since the Hawks went deep into the playoffs. And Smith is realistic about the work that lies ahead.
So we're probably 3 to 5 years from getting in the top, consistently in the top 8 or 10 teams. So once you're in that group, you got a shot at the cup every year.
But this year you expect the playoffs?
Yeah, we'll be in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm told town hall meetings are historic events dating back to the 1700s. I'm not sure they were talking hockey back then, but problems were being solved. And with the Hawks' long history, it just seemed right to have an open forum to help get management and fans on the same page. Hopefully, airing things out will be the start of better times in the coming years.
Don't go anywhere. It's time for a little instruction. Dave Otto learns how to throw a cutter from one of the best in baseball, Mike Sirocco. White Sox baseball.
Hey, the kids can play.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today. Let's go, Fire!
Merhabalar. Yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları için güzel şehrimiz Diyarbakır'a hoş geldiniz. Evet, yarışmacımız Yaşar yürüyor. Yaşar hazırlanıyor. Mükemmel bir atlayış. Atladı. Çok güzel bir atlayış. Herkes şaşkın. Atlayıştı. Evet, omuz ve baş sallama. Evet ve Yaşar görünüyor.
Been there all year long, screaming and carrying on. White Sox, Bulls, even the Black Hawks. And he's never been on skates in his whole life. And he'll be screaming at the players like he can do it better. Fool.
This is your full-access White Sox look ahead. The Sox continue the road trip with a short trip to sweltering Texas to saddle up with Gabe Kapler and the Rangers. Then it's back home as Jason Giambi brings the Athletics to town for a 3-game weekend matchup. And that is your full-access White Sox look ahead.
Imagine standing on the mound at a packed Comiskey Park. Game 7 of the playoffs, you have an 0-2 count on Nomar Garciaparra. What pitch should you throw him? Dave Otto asked Sox pitcher Mike Sirocco.
Thank you, Tom. Well, if you're pitching the big leagues, you gotta have some weapons. And one weapon that pitchers go to is the cutter. And basically, you just hold it off center just a little bit. Now, I'm left-handed, and you throw it just like a fastball, but because it's off center, it's going to cut in a little bit on right-handed hitters. Or for right-handed pitchers, it's going to go in on lefties. And one of the best in the game is Mike Sirocco. He's got a nasty one.
It took me a while to develop that pitch. It was, you know, when I first came up in 95 and 96, it was a pitch I didn't have. And, you know, with the Major League Baseballs, with the seams being a little bit smaller, I was having trouble throwing my slider for, you know, with getting some depth and getting some strikeouts with it. So I was on the side one day with Raleigh DeArmas, and I was just, you know, playing with different slider grips, and all of a sudden I start throwing the slider or the cutter, and it's hard and, you know, breaking, you know, really tight in on the right-handed hitters. And I was like, well, maybe that's a pitch I can use. And Raleigh's like, you know, that's a great pitch. You need to throw it. So I didn't throw it. And then I got sent back down a couple times. And then I was in a game. just getting beat up. And I just said, all right, time to break it out. First one I ever threw just got whacked right back up the middle, took my head off. I was like, oh, that's not a pitch I'm going to use again. So anyways, kind of stayed with it and, developed it and became a great pitch. And now, Partey watched me throw it the last couple of years, and now he's throwing it, and it's really been successful for him. Really opens up a lot of things, gives you many options once you establish it.
I guess you could call Siratka's cutter his bread and butter pitch. It has worked quite well so far. Now, when it comes to helping promote youth baseball within the city, both the Sox and the Cubs are fantastic. Under their guidance, the Inner City Little League has brought the sport to hundreds, if not thousands, of youngsters. Pretty soon, a new commercial touting their achievements will hit the air.
Well, we're trying to film a new commercial to put into our regular advertising mix, and this commercial is about giving back to the game and trying to grow the love of the game of baseball. And we're building it around the Inner City Little League, which is the league of 24 teams from kids from the CHA communities who play baseball all summer long. We had the opening ceremonies at our park in June. We'll have the closing ceremonies at Wrigley Field in August with the championship game, because it's a joint partnership with Chicago White Sox Charities, Cubs Care, and we get an awful lot of help from the Park District, the Police Department, the CHA, Windows of Opportunity, so the kids can play.
Basically what happens is what probably happened when you and I were kids, and kids do it on the front steps of a two-flat or anywhere, when you're pretending to be that player when you play. We've all done that. I've gone up to the plate and said, I'm Nellie Fox, dates me, but that's what we all do. And the pitcher pretends he's Billy Pierce, or today's pitcher pretends he's James Baldwin or Jim Parquet or whatever, and we're just kind of picking up on that feel kids have. It's while the kids are playing organized ball, it's still freedom to be themselves out there, and that's what we're trying to capture.
Big Heart Step fan. These are kids who play at the Inner City Little League. They're kids who make up the league, and here we are playing on a field that was refurbished thanks to a $1 million contribution from Chicago White Sox Charities to the Park District. So it is, as I said before, an opportunity for the White Sox to get people really involved in playing baseball. If the more kids play it, the more they learn it, the more they'll love it, and hopefully they'll grow up to be not only fans of Major League Baseball, but White Sox fans. And, wouldn't that be a wonderful Cinderella story, that you had a kid who started with the Inner City Little League, and he grew up to be a professional athlete, a professional baseball player.
And keep an eye out for that commercial, as it should hit the air within the next month or so. Folks, we are out of time. Until next week, I'm Tom Waddle. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
These kids are so hungry for a division championship they can almost taste it. And now, so can you. Presenting the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest. Just send in a postcard to Fox Sports Net and include your name, address, and phone number. Each week we'll award a lucky fan 2 White Sox Luxury Suite tickets and a Fox Sports Net t-shirt. So step up to the plate and satisfy your baseball appetite by entering the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest today. Scores and highlights are only half the story. Oh, my goodness! Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage. Oh, man! More analysis.
This team has unity.
More opinions.
This one's just too good to be true.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Report at 10 at midnight on Fox Sports Net. Miss it, miss out.
Between love and hate, it's a thin.
The Rangers are poised to shut down the Jays' drive to the pennant. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net.
Denny Nagel looks to stay perfect out in the Bronx. Can Al Leiter shut down the Reds as the Mets look to dial long distance? And a bad season just keeps on getting worse for the Astros. Hey, it's Hump Day. We're here to help you get over it. It's Fox Sports Net, Baseball Today.
We suggest you fasten your seat belts and buckle those chin straps, because along with all this flavor right here, a lot of pressure being you, isn't there?
Well, not really, John. Not next to you, there's not.
Wow, 8 games going off on the day schedule today right here on the half hour of power. Steve Sachs flying solo with all of his insights. My name's John Kelly, flattered and honored just to be here.
JK knows that.
And this is your one-stop shopping for all the action out of the ball yard. Stop that 3 persons. Anyway, if you've been here before, you know the drill. This is how it works. You drop us the questions at bringingtheheat@foxsports.com, and Steve will come up with all the answers later on and a whole lot more. Well, let's just say life, yes, has been a beautiful thing lately for the Yankees, and the outlook's gotten even brighter since landing Denny Nagel. The club with a shot to go 14 games over 500 for the first time this year. After winning a dozen of their last 17, Nagel instantly their ace off the hill, as we'll get to that scoreboard in just a minute. Highlights first, aiming to go a perfect 3-0 since arriving from Cincinnati. Top of the second, 2 on.
I'll tell you, look at Todd Dunwoody right in the zone right there. And then Luis Ordaz. Finally, Johnny Damon. Little blooper down the line. Nothing went right for Denny Nagel today, including the way he put the ball.
He allows 11 hits and 4 runs in 7 innings. Bottom of the second, 1 on with 2 outs. Chris Turner with the drive, but Dunwoody, going horizontal, lays out the diving grab that ends the inning. Bottom of the 7th, 2 on, 2 outs, Yankees down 4-0.
Watch Steiny right here with a nice little hook piece to Jose Vizcaíno. That's a backdoor, and see ya.
Stein in all the doors. 5 strikeouts, allows just 2 hits in 8 innings as the Royals win at 4-1. The Royals beat the Yankees for the first time this year, as Derek Jeter is 3 of his last 22 at the plate. That is not a good thing. And the Yankees manager, well, he's not blaming Nagel for today's loss.
Of course, you have to give credit to their offense. They came out and, had a man on them every inning and didn't, had to lead.
This is a special report from Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to the Fox Studios here in downtown Chicago. I'm Gail Fisher, and we want to bring you the live coverage of the Chicago Bulls announcement of their latest member of the team, free agent Ron Mercer. The 6'7" guard was acquired this week, and let's head out to the Berto Center now, where Jerry Krause is about to address the media.
Physical today, so that got that taken care of. Without going any more, I want to introduce to you. I want to start this by saying that several years ago, Ron got his first look at this building. He was in here in a Nike camp, and I was sitting upstairs on the platform up there and didn't know one player from another. There's about 100 players down here, and he stood out just like he was a very special player in this camp. And Howard White was running a camp for Nike, and I came downstairs and I said, "Howard, who is that young man?" And he said, "He's the best high school player in America." And he said, "Boy, Jerry, you picking him out?" I said, "Hey, a blind man could have done that. That was no great scouting trick." And he had a great day here that day. He had a great Nike camp. We've talked about him several years before he was drafted, when he was at Kentucky, and comes with the highest blessing of the people at Kentucky. And C.M. Newton is a close friend through the years, and C.M. had nothing but great things to say about Ron. And, of course, we couldn't get him. He went to Boston. And he is a proven NBA scorer. He's a guy that we think is going to really help our basketball team. This is a step forward for us. This is the first step forward that we're taking, and we're really pleased to have him with us here. I would say one more thing as we started, and then I've got calls and things, and my phone is loaded right now. Many years ago, at that same time, Ron was, as I say, the best high school player in America. He could have taken the easy way out and gone to the University of Tennessee and been the man in the state of Tennessee, and he took a challenge. He went to Kentucky and just won a national championship, and he put it on the line at Kentucky. And that showed me something about him as a person, and he showed me something again, because he's a young man that wants a challenge, and he's an outstanding young player, and we are really looking forward to having him with us. Ron, I'm going to introduce Tim first, and then Ron will talk. And then I'm going to leave, gentlemen, because I've got phone calls that have got to take me back up to that phone room. Thank you. Tim?
Okay. I'd like to say that I'm really excited about Ron joining us. Jerry mentioned that he's a proven NBA scorer. Just as important to our coaching staff is he's an established starter. in the NBA. He's a guy who I think has a terrific mid-range game, the ability to get to 15, 17 feet. In our offense, there were times last year when I got tired of hearing the word code red come off because of late clock situations, the ability for somebody to break out of the offense and go make a play, to bail you out. I think he's going to provide us that ability. He's not only been able to score in this league, but he's been able to score with a good shooting percentage. And I think he's going to bring a great deal to our team. You know, another reason I'm excited about having him here, I have not played golf this year, and we went out and played during his visit here Saturday. And we've got a guy now on the roster that I think I can beat over time. And we've got some unfinished business. Darkness got us the other day, and we're going to take care of that sometime here before the season starts. But I think this is a good day for the Bulls. I know that I'm really excited about having Ron here. I've admired his game for a long time, not only at the collegiate level, but at the professional level, and we're very happy about him joining our team. Ron, you want to say a few words?
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Of course, this is a special day for me, a very special day for me, to be able to put myself in a situation to take a challenge like this. This is a challenge that I want. This is, of course, a team that I've always watched over the years, especially in the 90s when they won championships and everything. And now I'm part of the rebuilding process of it. And I'm glad to do that. I'm glad to be here and take on that challenge. I don't think a lot of people really want that challenge, but that's why I'm here. I want that challenge. I want to be the future and try to put his team to the future and repeat the past. And everything goes in the past. Everything, you're going to repeat the past. The 90s is over with, and now it's part of the rebuilding process. And that's the main reason I'm here. Another reason that I'm here, during the recruiting process, I really had a good time here. And I've always told everybody I don't like the hoopla and all of those things when I'm being recruited. And when I came to Chicago, they did the simplest things that I like. They didn't try to go overboard and do other things, but they did things that I like. You know, I went out and played golf with the head coach. Those are things that I like to do. You know, I don't know too many teams you can go out and play golf and do other simple things with your head coach. And that's why I'm here today. And that makes me, you know, happy to be here and to be part of this great organization. So I'm ready to get started right away. I told the guys in the organization, you know, if I come here, I'm ready to get started right away. I'm not going to report to training camp when it's time. I'm going to report ahead of time in the next few weeks and get with these guys. We're going to have a young team, but the recruiting process is still not over. The summer is not over. So I'm looking forward to getting with these guys and, you know, helping some of the younger guys and definitely getting with Elton Brand and getting with him. He's going to be a great player here. And that's another reason that I want to play with him. I see what he's done just in a year, and I think he's going to be a great NBA player here. And I'm glad to be teaming with him right now and be part of this organization. So now it's just time to get busy and get in the gym and start working. Thanks. Simplest things in life. Simplest things in life. What I really appreciated back then, playing golf with this guy, I mean, it's amazing because you really don't see that in the NBA. How many coaches, not to, you know, down any coaches, anything like that in the NBA, but you rarely see that. And it's not just a recruiting thing. It's one of those things that I brought to him. He told me he played golf. I told him, you know, I try to play a little golf, and we're out on the course, and we're on a visit. They're trying to recruit me, but he said, hey, we're going to break away from that. We're going to go play a little golf. And I like that. I won't say anything about that. We're going to have a rematch because, you know, it was getting kind of dark and other things was going on. But I won't say who won. I'll give you an update later on.
Howard, you remember, you know, if you're playing with your kids or something, you always want them to win. Well, in this case, we had a lot at stake, so I let him beat me by a stroke. But now with this new contract, we might have to play for a little money.
I mean, it's just a matter of just getting a start on it. Anything can happen. That's the thing about it, because we're not out of the recruiting process. Some can happen tomorrow, some can happen a couple of weeks from now. But I think that's the exciting part, because things can happen. Things are only going to go up. They're not going to go backwards. We're not going to let that happen. It's going to go up. Everything is positive. So anything can happen. That's the exciting part about it, because no one knows what's going to happen. You can only try to predict what's going to happen. And I think that's the excitement of the game. You never know who's going to win the NBA championship every year. No one knows. You can predict all you want, but the excitement is once you make it to the game and that team wins. I mean, I think it was just an option. Of course, that's a great organization, but I think it was an option that I had out there for me, along with other options. It was just a matter of me sitting down, deciding what I want to do, look at the upside of the team, what the team is going to be in the future, and who I have around me, and not only that, but the coaching staff as well. I think that's an important part of being an NBA player. You learn that over the years. At that particular time, I really don't know where I was leaning at. I was just, looking at my options and trying to decide what's the best situation.
Free agents were deciding to do, and did any of their decisions affect your decision to come here to Chicago?
I mean, I was keeping an eye, just looking out, just being a regular fan. I'm a player, but I'm a fan of everybody else as well. So, I mean, you have to, look every now and then and see where certain guys are going at. But, I mean, in our reality, I had to, do what was best for me and what I wanted to do and what I was looking for in the team. I didn't think anything was wrong. I mean, I think each individual is different. Certain guys want certain things, and that's with them. I want certain things, but I mean, it's each individual has certain things they're looking for in a team and things like that. This is a great organization, and I know what it can do in the future. It's just a matter of doing it right now, and depending on certain situations. I mean, we're going to get things done.
Well, he was a guy that we had talked about a great deal going back as late as last summer in our plans. I think that when you have 10 people who are trying to give their opinions on talent, you have varying grades across the board, but continually Ron's name was mentioned right up there with all of the players. Certainly Tim Duncan was in A class because he was a big guy and the featured big guy in this group. But there were other players who we felt like could help us get where we're trying to get. And in addition to that, we're going to continue to target a couple of guys here in the next week or so and see if we can get some additional help.
Recruiter over the next few weeks with all the remaining free agents out there,
I think I'm going to do a little bit of everything. Recruit, play, might do a little GM work if I can. If that's what they want me to do, that's what I would do. I'm going to try to do a little bit of everything, but most important is, take care of the business on the court and getting with these young guys and doing things with them. That's the main thing. Yeah. I mean, and then again, that's another challenge. But the thing about it is, I mean, this is a totally different team. It's a new team, but it's a rebuilding process. The measuring stick is high, but that's what we're going to have to shoot for. It's not going to get done today. It's going to get done in the future, hopefully, but that's something we have to look for it and shoot for, and that's what the fans are looking for as well. So, I mean, they're going to be excited. No, not yet. I've talked to Elton Brand before. I've seen him several times during the season. I can't say any names right now. I haven't really seen too many people. My main things right now is to be excited about what's going on right now and take care of what's going on today. I'm pretty sure it's going to sit in later on this afternoon or the next day and kind of take it from there. That's it.
All right, the press conference introducing Ron Mercer as the latest Bull. And Ron Mercer obviously happy to be with the team, and Tim Floyd expressing his excitement over having Ron Mercer a part of his team as well. And we will have much more on Ron Mercer and the Bulls tonight at 11 o'clock on the Regional Sports Report. And coming up in just a few minutes, it's the White Sox and Texas Rangers. Our pregame show starts at 5:30. Be sure to join Megan Mawicki and Dave Otto for that. For now, I'm Gail Fisher. Thanks for watching. Keep it right here.
This has been a special report from Fox Sports Net.
Strike Sammy out. You're not going to do it by throwing him curveballs right in the middle of the plate.
Gave all those fans slugging that beer out there reason to cheer it.
That's
Wrigley
it.
Field, it was fun today.
Hi-ho, old style.
Well, tomorrow on Baseball Thursday, many of you can see the Rangers as they travel to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. That game's at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Others will get the Pirates and Giants as they kick off a 4-game set out of Pac-Bell Park. 6:30 out of the West Coast, only on Fox Sports Net. Still to come here on Baseball today, the Angels looking to tame those Tigers. Darren Erstad hoping to add to his hit parade to get closer to the record book. Well, baseball has some great fans all over the country, including Wrigley. One fan brings the heat, wondering who's the best.
Announcing the most amazing offer in Pizza Hut history, the Pizza Hut America online shopping spree. Now when you order the Big New Yorker for just $9.99, you get $30 free online cash. That's right, $30 free. Log on to AOL keyword Pizza Hut or AOL.com Pizza Hut. Get the stuff you want, like back-to-school clothing, backpacks, sporting goods, and more. A pizza that's 30% larger than a large, plus $30 online cash. It's like we're giving money away. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
He's upside down. This one has to go like that.
Some children imagine that their father is the most powerful man in the world. Wonder where they got that idea. The 300 horsepower Silverado. The truck from Chevrolet.
Because the average golf course is 6,500 yards, and the average golfer plays more like 8,500 yards, straighter is better. Tightlize 2 from Adams Golf, designed to help you hit consistently straighter shots.
Golf clubs make a lot of promises. Tightlize 2 makes it guaranteed. Straighter shots are your money back. Only with Tightlize 2 fairway woods and the new Tightlize 2 driver, straighter is better.
This is Fox Sports Net. When it really counts, you stand your ground. Looks like we've got a lot in common. You can always depend on Chevy to be there for you. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $1,500 cash back on a 2000 Chevy Malibu, or take $2,000 cash on a 2000 Cavalier. Don't let the selection pass you by. Make a stop at your Chevrolet dealer today for the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown.
Between love and hate, it's a feeling.
Well, Darren Erstad with a hit today, and that pushes his season total to 173. That means he needs just 85 more this season to break the 80-year-old mark held by George Sisler. Way to go. A's and Blue Jays get it on. New Oakland pitcher Jim Messier trying to hold down the lead. Top of the 8th, that's not how you hold it.
No, and especially, I'll tell you what, Tony Bautista, he's got a funky stance up there, but nothing's funky about the way he swings the bat. Boom, 32nd one for Bautista.
Bottom of the 8th, still tied at 4. Eric Chavez with the base hit. That will score 1. But Chavez trying to get a little greedy here. Toast. Doesn't get to second, but doesn't matter. 4 RBI as the A's going to take this one 5-4. The A's win 5 in a row and sweep the Jays as the Blues have lost 6 straight ball games. So with that victory, the A's now own a 3.5-game lead in that wild card race. The Halos, their closest competitor, but 5 teams still fighting for the spot. Also, the Twins and O's going at it. Top of the 9th inning. Looks like the Twins are on their way to victory. The O's are unbeaten since the trade deadline, while the Twins have lost 4 in a row to the Baltimore squad. Right now, let's welcome in our baseball insider, Tracy Ringolsby. The team making some headlines with that trade deadline. How about the Baltimore Orioles? A huge fire sale, unloading some vets. Ron Darling yesterday equated this one to a bloodletting. Tracy, the question now has to be, how many of the high-priced free agents out there will even want to play in Baltimore?
Well, that's the problem. They've opened up quite a bit of money for free agents. Who's going to want to take it? The money's so high for these players now that a lot of intangibles enter into their final decision-making process. When they watch people get treated the way they've been treated in Baltimore, and they see Mike Mussina ready to leave because he's fed up with what's gone on there, it doesn't set well, particularly a B.J. Surhoff, who's got a lot of respect from people in the game, signed for less money to be in Baltimore because his child was getting treatment at Johns Hopkins University. Had an agreement with Peter Angelos he wouldn't be traded. He finds himself in Atlanta. That's great from a professional standpoint, but it's a tough personal move for him.
With the O's downgrading the last couple of days, a couple of teams have tried to upgrade. You've been with 2 of them this week. I guess right now, after a few moves, what's the feeling now in Chicago that the trade deadline has come and gone?
Well, they really feel they jump-started their team. You know, they're playing well this month. The pitching's been a lot better. A lot of that has to do with the defense in the outfield. They feel like they made it better by picking up Rondell White. He gives them, with Patterson and Sosa, 3 quality defensive players. He also gives them someone to protect Sosa in the lineup. Now they look at the offseason and feel they can really make a move in the Central Division if they can come up with a run-producing third baseman or first baseman. You know, there's a couple names Don Baylor's familiar with, Chipper Jones and Vinny Castilla.
Now, on the other side of that, the Rockies landing Todd Hollandsworth. What's the feeling on both sides there?
Well, Hollandsworth's excited. This is where he wanted to come. He's got 2 months now to make an audition. He's going to be a free agent when the year's over. He'd like to sign and stay here. They'd like to keep him as the 4th outfielder. What made Goodwin expendable? The development of Juan Pierre. Had a big year at AA this year. Goes to AAA Colorado Springs tomorrow. He'll be up in September to play center field. They're able to move Goodwin, $7 million obligation. A week before they got rid of Lansing, $7.25 million for next year. And then Dante Bichette, they don't have to pick up any of his $6.5 million. Dan O'Dowd, the general manager, has got over $20 million in addition to however much they increase the payroll to work on the free agent market.
We'll see if all that extra money can make everybody happy. That is our cat in the hat. Tracy Ringolsby out at a very hot and muggy Wrigley Field. I spent some time out there, my man. One suggestion, drink a lot of water, please.
Well, I know you've been here because a lot of people want to know where their money is.
Tracy. Tracy
Go ahead,
just
Tracy.
firing on me, man.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded. Anyway, a few weeks on baseball today, you'll hear some of baseball's best radio voices, past and present. Speaking of radio, premiering Monday, August 28th, you can hear some of the biggest names in sports TV. They hit the airwaves on the Fox Sports Radio Network. It is the air August 28th. Be sure to check out your local listings. Right now, be sure to check this out. We turn the heat up a little bit. Time to bring it for Stevie Sachs. Double-fisted. We're going with Sheena starting us off.
Bring it. Is that Sheena Easton?
Possibly. Okay. What city do you think has the best fans?
Oh, Sheena, right there in Colorado. You got to have some great fans there. Cleveland. But I got to give it to Chicago Cubs in the major leagues. In AAA ball, how about Sacramento? They're out drawing their parent team, the Oakland A's.
Did we ask?
No, but get a team there. Get a team there.
Well, whatever.
You need it.
Anyway, this is out of Chicago, my place. Clancy, what kind of chance do the Shy Sox have with 2 rookies in the rotation?
Well, pretty soon when Cal Eldred gets back, Jordan Garland is going to be the only rookie. Plus, when playoff time comes, it's a 3-man rotation. It really won't matter.
And Clancy, make sure to tell everybody there, I don't know anybody money in Chicago. All right, and this is it. Bring in the heat at foxsports.com. You, too, can do it every day. Fire us the questions. We always deliver. Well, still a lot of teams very much in that NL wildcard race, so log on to vote for your favorite. We check out the results of your call when Steve and I come back at you.
White Sox baseball.
Hey, the kids can play.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Let's go, Fire!
nightly sports show dedicated to hometown teams and highlights. The 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, Chicago edition, nightly at 11.
They've played in different generations, but they all made history playing for the same team, presenting the 20th Century Sox Contest. Here's your chance to assemble the ultimate all-century White Sox team. Choose one player from each decade, an additional 10 players of your choice, and one manager. Vote, and you'll even have a chance to win a trip for two to White Sox spring training in 2001. Enter online at whitesox.com in the Thursday edition of the Chicago Sun-Times Sports section or at Comiskey Park. The 20th Century Sox Contest. Now it's all up to you. These kids are so hungry for a division championship they can almost taste it. And now, so can you. Presenting the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest. Just send in a postcard to Fox Sports Net and include your name, address, and phone number. Each week we'll award a lucky fan 2 White Sox Luxury Suite tickets and a Fox Sports Net t-shirt. So step up to the plate and satisfy your baseball appetite by entering the Subway White Sox Wednesdays contest today. Scores and highlights are only half the story. Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage, more analysis.
This team has unity.
More opinions.
This one's just too good to be true.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Report at 10 at midnight on Fox Sports Net. Miss it, miss out.
Call. Almost half of you think the Mets will claim that NL West wild card. The Dodgers come in second, and despite adding Kurt Schilling, the D-backs only 14% of that vote. We finish up tossing it around the horn. Who's going to win the wild card in the NL?
Well, I'll tell you, that's going to be tough. Obviously, some of these teams in here are going to win their division. Wild card's not going to have anything to do with it, but I got to go with the Mets. I think all around, they've got the best shot. Mike Piazza, Robin Ventura is going to be coming back. Hampton's been doing great.
Buddies.
Got to go with them.
What, Cubs got any kind of chance in there?
Sure, they got a chance.
Surely you can't be serious.
I'm not, and stop calling me Shirley.
So predictable. That's it. And here's some of the defensive gems from last night on the Final Cut.
Into the crowd, falls into the seats, and he makes the catch. Holy smoke!
Grounded to first, great play by Sexton. Is not Langford giving chase. Will he get there? Wow, what a play!
Stewart makes another great catch. 2 in this inning. Mark him down. Smooth. Shannon Stewart.
Hey, kick save and a beauty by Mike Hampton.
One play, spin a bottle.
Coyote Ugly. Rated PG-13. Starts everywhere August 4th, the hottest day of the year.
Can you recommend a good air filter? Fram, the only air filter with Triad fiber technology. Tiny orange fibers that hold dirt inside their microscopic channels. Take it, use it, live it.
The Fram Triad traps up to 48% more dirt than any leading competitor.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table, reservation. Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington? Sir, that's only $1. Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee.
Great rates and no monthly fee?
All day, every day. Oh.
Walk this way.
Dial 10-10-220.
Burger King asks, could you love 2 chicken club sandwiches at the same time? Could you long for the crispy chicken and sizzling bacon of a Burger King chicken club, yet still cherish the juicy, flame-broiled taste of chicken and bacon in our new BK Broiler Club? Sure you could. But if you're going to love them both, here's a little tip. Don't ever call one by the other's name.
Got the air.
The Rangers are poised to shut down the Jays' drive to the pennant. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net.
Put it on the board, yeah!
Coming up in the game room, nothing like making a first impression. The 2 new Southsiders, Baines and Johnson, ruined the Rangers last night in dramatic fashion. Tonight, the kids look to make it 2 straight in the ballpark at Arlington. Stick around. The game room's coming up next.
Gone!
It's a Texas two-step tonight for the White Sox as they look to sweep their two-game set over the Rangers. Welcome inside the game room, everyone. I'm Megan Mawicki. We have a lot to talk about in the next 30 minutes. The Southsiders sure know how to pick a winner, but they just can't win very easy these days. We'll hear from the man who slugged last night's game winner just a little bit later. Plus, Harold Baines' existence is a baseball marvel. We'll show you why the 41-year-old continues to knock them in. And the A's keep chalking up the W's in their chase of the Mariners for the AL West title. The Sox next victim were swinging away today. We will give you a taste of that series straight ahead. But now it's time, everybody, to bring in our own ace, lefty Dave Otto. Dave, the addition of Harold Baines and Charles Johnson, I mean, could you have asked for anything more from them? Quite a big first impression from those two.
No question about both of those guys. Played extremely well last night. Charles Johnson is a rock behind the plate. Really, the White Sox didn't, you know, with Brooke Fordyce, played behind the plate pretty good, but at the same time, when you have an opportunity to get the best in the business, and Charles Johnson, along with Pudge Rodriguez, are the two best catchers in the game, particularly in the American League, and they made a good impression last night, along with Harold Baines swinging the bat.
Well, let's take a look at these two guys. Numbers, their first day on the job, not too bad. They combined for 3 hits and 2 RBI in the Sox win last night. One of those, one big one by Johnson, his 22nd home run on the year, now a career high for him. Not a bad start at all. Well, the Sox couldn't have asked more from these two newest acquisitions. Baines wasted no time showing why the Sox retired his number 11 years ago. And catcher Charles Johnson showed why he's an all-star, the bearer of 4 Gold Gloves and a World Series ring. Now it's time to show and tell from last night's pictures of the Sox dramatic win. Let's check out the pictures from Arlington last night, everybody.
And here it is, Megan. The big bomb in the 9th inning off of Wetland. Charles Johnson jumps all over. First pitch fastball from Wetland. So a big night, and that was after the White Sox gave up the lead. 3-3 tie. Charles Johnson gets him back in the lead, and the Sox end up winning this son of a gun 4-3.
Well, we're going to head out to the Lone Star State where our broadcasting crew of Hawk and DJ are standing by. Guys, by adding Baines and Johnson, the one thing the Sox didn't do was break up the team chemistry at all. They possibly only enhanced it. Even Paul Konerko, whose playing time will be cut with Baines DH, and seems to be fine with the move. I know it's early, but how has this affected the attitudes in the clubhouse right now?
Well, I think, as you just mentioned, that the chemistry of the ball club is going to be even better because of the fact that you've got some guys in there who are going to have some veteran experience, some postseason experience, and all of a sudden you got 2 wonderful guys. I mean, Harold Baines is one of the all-time favorites in Chicago, and Charles Johnson, never heard a bad word about him, and that's unusual in this business.
Well, that's exactly right, what you guys are saying. Megan, what you said there was the key acquisitions at the positions, they're big. It's going to take a little bit of time away from Paul Konerko because Baines, he's got to DH a little bit, but they are great guys. Talked to them a little bit yesterday, and, you know, they're getting to know these new guys, new teammates, where they both seem to be quiet, very excited about being with a championship-type team. So what more can you ask for? 2 quality players, 2 quality people.
Yeah, I talked with CJ coming over in the van today from the hotel, and he said he's just excited to be here, just ecstatic because of the fact that he knows where this club is at. He knows this club has a chance not to be good just this year, but the next 4, 5, 6 years. So he is really excited about it, as is Harold.
Boy, he's a rock behind the plate, Hawk. Hey, one thing last night with Jose Valentin, you know, he's made some errors this year, but at the same time, I've not seen 2 better athletic plays than in last night's ball game with Jose Valentin at shortstop.
Well, even CJ talked about it coming over in the van. He said, did you see that play by Jose last night? He said that was unbelievable. Catch that and all of a sudden stay with the play and finish it off. You just don't see that happen very often. And as DJ and I have talked throughout the season, sure, he has 26 errors, and a couple of them lately has really hurt, as a couple did early in the season. But for the most part, he makes some plays to make up for those errors, and the pluses far outweigh the minuses.
And there's no doubt that Jose can excite you at shortstop. His instincts out there are unbelievable. He's going to make some errors, there's no doubt, but it's usually because he's being a little too aggressive. It's not because he's sitting back, letting the ball play him. Hey, they're errors, yes, but at least they're not negative errors. They're not him being lazy, and that's the thing. His pitchers realize that, and they've hurt us a little bit lately, yes, But plays like last night, that negates one error each time he puts a play like that on the field.
Well, the biggest thing to do, and rule of thumb in baseball is, it's not how the errors are being looked at by the press or by the scorekeepers, how your teammates can handle the errors. Now, if your teammates can handle your errors, you're in good shape.
Fellas, you said the golden word, instincts. And really, this year, I've seen that out of the White Sox. Great instincts, not only defensively, but on the base pads.
Oh, the leader of the pack is Jose. We can go right back to him. Dave, you're going to know. You've watched him enough this season to where there's probably not many players in the history that you've been around the game that are more aggressive and instinctual than Jose Valentin. And the other guys pick up on that. It makes them more aggressive, them better base runners, and that is more than anything that you can ask from him. He doesn't even need to coach. Just do it out there, and these guys are going to follow him.
He's fun to watch play.
Well, thanks, guys. Have a great game out there, and try to stay cool in that Texas
All right, Megan and Dave.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, we do have to show you these pictures from the dramatic win last night. They are just too good to pass up. So let's check out the highlights from Arlington last night. There's Charles Johnson in the starting lineup behind the plate for the Sox, as well as Harold Baines, his third go-around. Third inning, we're going to pick this one up. The Sox get it going. Jose Valentin, he finds a little space in right field. That scored Chris Singleton, and the Sox are on the board first 1-0. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Now James Baldwin struggling a little trouble right here. Mike Lammett's a single to left past Herbert Perry. Bill Hasselman scores from second. We have a tied game at 1 apiece. But Dave Baldwin would rebound. He gets Royce Clayton looking right here at the curveball. Clayton, he just can't believe it.
Well, JB, this is a big outing for him because he bounced back, hasn't been throwing the ball exceptionally well as he was earlier in the year. Last night, he flipped it up good.
Top of the seventh right here, the Sox make a move. Jose Valentin, he steals second, oh so nicely in there. That would be his 13th steal for Valentin. Right here, Maggs right, a single to left. Rusty Greer, just little butterfingers there. He can't make the catch. Valentin scores easily, 2-1 White Sox. Next batter, Harold Baines. He's the old man river, Dave. He can still do it.
He certainly can, and he stands off the plate, and you think you can get him out of the way? You can't. He gets a breaking ball here, drives it to central, and he is cool in the clutch.
So it's 3-1 White Sox, bottom of the eighth. Gabe Kapler bases juice. He hits a single to left, 2-run score. Rafael Palmeiro thrown out of third, but the damage is done. Tied game at 3 apiece. We pick this one up top of the ninth. Charles Johnson. See you, Baltimore, right, Dave?
Against Wetland, you got to get him early. First pitch from Wetland, Johnson, big fly, Sox 4-3.
Not a bad win. Outing right there. Well, it doesn't matter where these guys, they can play anywhere on the road. At home, everybody. That's why they have the best record in baseball. The Sox now have won 24 of their last 35 games on the road, and they are on pace to match the club record of 49 road wins.
Well, I really think when you go on the road as a team, you get into a certain routine, and I think with the White Sox, I think the best thing for the White Sox is when they opened up and went on the road for that long road trip that really built some unity. They got it going early, and they just have not quit, and the wheels have come off in Cleveland.
Well, you're right. We are just getting heated up, everybody, so stay with us. Plenty more ahead.
The White Sox didn't pick up another pitcher, but after 7 strong innings last night in Texas, JD's proven the staff is all right. Tonight in the ballpark in Arlington, it's Rick Helling and his heater versus John Garland and his young guns. Plus, strap on your cleats, because we're going to take a trip around the bases. All this and more coming up next.
Honey, do you have the Primeco phone?
Yeah, it's in the car.
I sure am glad we got Primeco.
Yeah, free voicemail, free caller ID. It was really a no-brainer.
So you think you could give these guys a bat?
Sure. Hey, why don't you turn them loose? They must be scared.
Right now, get a Qualcomm 1960 digital phone free after mail-in rebate. Plus, get 100 anytime minutes for only $19.99 a month.
Go ahead and call. It's Primeco.
Who says business travel has to cost a lot? Not ATA. Introducing ATA's business fares. Low fares with few restrictions to your favorite business destinations. ATA has you covered from morning to night every business day. Convenient schedules, low fares, and few restrictions are plenty of reasons to fly ATA. Unless, of course, your business hates saving money.
When it really counts, you stand your ground. Looks like we've got a lot in common. You can always depend on Chevy to be there for you. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $1,500 cash back on a 2000 Chevy Malibu or take $2,000 cash on a 2000 Cavalier. Don't let the selection pass you by. Make a stop at your Chevrolet dealer today for the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Let's go, Fire!
The Sox' two newest faces came out swinging in their debut last night, but they're hoping they'll join the front line again tonight in Game 2 of their Texas Showdown. Welcome inside the game room, everybody. Dave Baldwin, a solid outing last night. 7 1/3 inning pitched. Got out of that second half slump. He was 2-3 since the All-Star break. Got that much-needed win. I had to be a confidence builder.
Megan, that's going to be big for the White Sox in the second half. Now, he had an outstanding second half last year for Chicago, and this year, unbelievable first half. Last couple outings, not great, JB. This is vintage JB. Now he's got that changeup. Great sequence there to Palmeiro. He was able to change speeds yesterday and also throw his hammer. Now, once in a while with JB, he gets low on his arm angle. He wasn't able to get on top. Last night, he got on top, pulled that son of a gun down.
So there are JB's numbers right there. He's 12-4 right now, and his ERA has improved to 4. 94 strikeouts. You are right. Well, it should be an interesting matchup on the mound tonight. The Sox will have their highly touted prospect, John Garland, a mere 21 years old, Dave. But he's really been fairly effective in his 4 starts, 4 wins, I should say. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in his last 4 starts.
Well, we haven't seen the true John Garland yet. I thought in AAA, nice and easy cheese. You get to the big leagues, you get a little tight, a little nervous. It's only a matter of time before you see unbelievable stuff from Garland, because he's got one of the best sinkers in the game. Now, this game against Boston, he went upstairs on a bunch of lefties. That's going to be a good pitch for him also. But really, his bread and butter is when he throws that slide piece down and in, and every once in a while throwing a backdoor slider. He's got outstanding stuff. He'll mix in a changeup every once in a while. Now, he's coming off a victory against the Anaheim Angels. His whole key is to stand tall. He's about 6'4". Stand tall, create an angle for the hitter, because when the hitter sees this type of action, when the ball going down like this, as opposed to this, all the hitter sees is the top half of the ball, and that's when he's filthy.
Well, I'll tell you, Garland does not have an easy night tonight. He'll be up against the Rangers ace, Rick Helling. Helling is on a roll right now, Dave. He's unbeaten in his last 7 starts. What should they be concerned with tonight?
Boy, he's got great stuff, and he's probably got the best stuff on the Texas staff out of the starting rotation. He has been the horse all year long. 13 wins. White Sox beat him up pretty good, though, earlier in the year in the 4-game set against the Texas Rangers. He's got a good breaking ball. That's one of the things that you got to key on. He will test you upstairs with his fastball. Now, Mags Ordonez gets on top of the fastball, as does Chris Singleton. Likes to challenge you up there. However, it's out of the zone. That's amazing. You got to lay off it, because he will climb the ladder on you all day long. Paul Konerko waits back good on the breaking ball. He's got a good breaking ball. He will battle his tail off against you. This is a good matchup.
So the young pup is 2-2 on the season with a 6.75 ERA. His last win came Thursday against Anaheim, where he gave up 5 hits in 6 innings. Helling 12-7 with a 3.87 ERA. Helling hasn't given up more than 3 runs in 6 straight outings, and he's in search of his 6th straight win tonight. Well, everybody, we're plenty more action ahead, and we're going to head around the bases for some of the big league action today. The White Sox aren't the only game on tap, so stick with us.
The Game Room is brought to you in part by ATA, 25 years of great destinations, low fares, and priceless memories. On ATA, you're on vacation.
Who says business travel has to cost a lot? Not ATA. Introducing ATA's business fares. Low fares with few restrictions to your favorite business destinations. ATA has you covered from morning to night every business day. Convenient schedules, low fares, and few restrictions are plenty of reasons to fly ATA. Unless, of course, your business hates saving money.
In anticipation of your runaway success as a Wall Street Journal reader, how to blend in with normal people. When in public, walking a pet can help you blend in. A tip on being madly successful from the Wall Street Journal, full of insight on making it big. Subscribe to the Journal for just 57 cents a day for 13 weeks, 25% off the regular rate. The Wall Street Journal. Call 800-215-0900. That's 800-215-0900.
If you want to buy a car and save some dough, there's just one name you have to know.
Big Joe. Big Dealin' Joe.
Right now, Big Joe is overloaded with quality North Shore trade-ins, and he wants them out of here before spring. So don't wait, because he's rocking and rolling and ready to deal now. To get a price that's on the mark, see Big Joe in Highland Park.
Big Joe. Big Dealin' Joe.
Highland Park, Volvo, Chrysler, Plymouth, 250 Skokie Valley Road in Highland Park.
Merhabalar. Yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları için güzel şehrimiz Diyarbakır'a hoş geldiniz. Evet, yarışmacımız Yaşar yürüyor. Yaşar hazırlanıyor. Mükemmel bir atlayış. Atladı. Çok güzel bir atlayış. Herkes şaşkın. Atlayıştı. Evet, omuz ve baş sallama. Evet, ve Yaşar görünüyor.
Well, we have all the action on Chicago's sports scene, but don't forget you can check out the National Sports Report for all the action around the country. For a preview, let's send it out to John Kelly in the Fox Network Center.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. And here's just a sample of what's coming up tonight on the National Sports Report. Rookie John Garland takes the mound as the White Sox look to sweep their two-game series down in Texas. Hey, Jerry Krause finally finds somebody willing to take his money and run with the Chicago Bulls. And Spurs fans breathing that huge sigh of relief. They get their man, Tim Duncan, officially back with the ball club. Plus, we'll have all today's baseball scores and the highlights, including the Cubs and the White Sox, coming up tonight on the National Sports Report. Megan, great to see you. Let's send it back to you in Chicago.
Thanks, John. Now it's time to pick Dave's expertise for a little Freeze and Focus. It's that time, everybody.
Harold Baines can flat out rake, and we saw it last night. First time in a White Sox uniform in a couple of years, and he can flat out get it done. But now he's got a strange stance. And not too many guys can do this, but he really stands off the plate a ton. And it's difficult for a lot of guys to have this kind of batting stance, but he's got a good one. And what he does is he lifts with his right leg, and he goes right to the plate. It's almost like, hey, when the pitcher shows his rear end, Harold shows his rear end at the same time. Almost like a pitcher. He's got tremendous plate coverage. He stands off the plate, but he goes into the ball, and that's how he gets his plate coverage. Because pitchers think you can get him out of the way, no chance. Now, the one thing, when Harold Baines went over to Cleveland Indians last year at the end of the year, Manny Ramirez loved his stroke so much that he started copying his stroke. You don't want to copy Harold Baines' stroke, particularly, Megan, because Manny Ramirez in the playoffs last year for the Cleveland Indians went right in the tank because of that. So nobody copy his stance. Let him get it done. He can flat out get it done.
Thanks, Dave. Well, now it's time to jump on the big league train and take a trip around the bases. Our first stop, the Big Apple. And the Royals were visiting the Yanks today. We picked this one up in the top of the second. 2 on, nobody out. Todd Dunwoody doubles to right center. That scores Dave McCarty, and KC is on top first, 1-0. Later in the inning, the Royals up 2-0. Johnny Damon, a little double to left. That will score Dunwoody. And Kansas City, commanding lead, 3-0. Eighth inning now, 2 on for Paul O'Neill. Way deep to left. but not enough. But not enough for Chuck Knobloch. The guy can't throw. Well, he can score, everybody. But the Royals hold on to win 4-1. Now we go to Wrigley right here. The Rockies ready in game 2. That's Todd Walker picking up where they left off. A solo shot tying the game at 1. Now we go 2-1 bases juice for Eric Young. He hit the deep single to left field, scoring Damon Buford. But Dave, he's out of line.
Well, Eric Young overran Brant Brown, who was on first base. And the Cubs only get 1 run in that. Rockies tied 2-2. But Sammy Sosa goes deep to make the score 3-2. Final 3-2.
Out in Oakland, the Blue Jays were in town. Top of the first, 1 out. Alex Gonzalez, a solo shot to the bleachers. That one's way out there. Toronto takes the early lead 1-0. Bottom of the 4th, now Eric Chavez. I can do it too. A 3-run bomb. 2 will score, and Oakland wins that one by a final score of 5-4. The Sox next victim looking sharp. Some more AL scores to pass along. Minnesota on top over Baltimore 10-6. Oakland over Toronto 5-4, as we just said. Anaheim blanked by Detroit right now in the 8th inning. On tap tonight, Cleveland and Tampa Bay, and Boston and Seattle. Over in the National League, the Mets on top over Cincinnati by 1. Los Angeles out in front big over Pittsburgh. San Francisco can't outdo Milwaukee. The Brewers get a win. Surprisingly, they're 6-4. St. Louis, Montreal, Houston, Florida, Atlanta, and Arizona will begin shortly. Well, coming up, we'll give you the rundown on the lineups today, and we'll also take a look at one Ranger who continues to shoot down the Sox pitching staff. Don't go away.
Gifts for our game room guests are provided by Chicago's fabulous Carson's Ribs. To win free barbecue sauce, find us on the web at ribs.com.
Nerves of steel. Strength under pressure. Cast iron muscle. Looks like we've got a lot in common. Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now, during the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown, get $2,500 cash back on the 2000 Blazer 4-door, or take $2,000 cash on the rugged 2000 S10. This selection won't last, so get to the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown any way you can. Just get to your local Chevy dealer today.
They've played in different generations, but they all made history playing for the same team, presenting the 20th Century Sox Contest. Here's your chance to assemble the ultimate all-century White Sox team. Choose one player from each decade, an additional 10 players of your choice, and one manager. Vote, and you'll even have a chance to win a trip for 2 to White Sox spring training in 2001. Enter online at whitesox.com in the Thursday edition of the Chicago Sun-Times Sports section or at Comiskey Park. The 20th Century Sox Contest. Now it's all up to you.
In there all year long, screaming and carrying on. White Sox, Bulls, even the Blackhawks. And he's never been on skates in his whole life. And he'll be screaming at the players like he can do it better. Shit, fool.
Fox Sports Net, home of the White Sox.
Things are just starting to heat up. A little Texas toast is on the menu tonight. Well, the Sox have a little different look tonight in their lineup. Let's take a look at those right now, everybody. Well, Dave, little things shaking up, Manuel. Just 2 new guys. You got to get them in there.
Well, with Harold Baines, you want him in the lineup at least twice a week because you want him sharp for pinch hitting duty so he can hit a bullet off the wall. Now, Mags is not in the lineup tonight. Konerko back at first base, and Frank Thomas in his familiar spot at DH. Now, that's going to be the big thing. With Frank now playing a little bit of first base, I don't think the White Sox get hurt too much with Thomas over at first base because he's a big target over there. The only concern is him throwing. But I'll tell you what, top to bottom right now, these guys can swing it.
Looking good. Well, so Konerko, who's been out with a bruised left hand lately, he's back in batting .316 with 12 homers. Not too shabby this day.
Well, I think that's the thing. With his hand injury and getting a guy like Harold Baines, you don't really miss a beat when he is not in the lineup. But when Paul Konerko's right, he's got to be in the lineup because he's a 300 hitter and he can jump ship as he did here against the Kansas City Royals. And he's really hitting righties almost better than lefties. So Konerko and Mags, I mean, there's just no rest in this lineup for Rick Helling tonight.
Well, surprisingly, though, Konerko is going to be affected with Baines and DHing. He's going to have, a lot less bats, but he is very happy. I mean, surprised.
Well, I mean, anytime you're on a winning ball club, you're just ecstatic, and if you don't play as often, that's really not a big deal, especially with this young club. But the thing with Konerko also, though, is Frank Thomas is going to get a rest every once in a while, so then Konerko can be the DH. So I think just adding Baines in that lineup now from the left side and that threat of him coming off the bench, that alters managers and how they adjust with their bullpen.
So the Sox will have a different look tonight. The Rangers, no surprises there. Let's take a look at their lineup tonight. The exact same 9 guys all batting in the same place. Dave, anybody stand out there?
Budge Rodriguez not in that lineup. That's the big missing link right now.
There you go.
In the middle of that lineup, certainly Rusty Greer and Rafael Palmeiro, 2 guys that can pull. But overall, this club is struggling swinging the bats. And pitching, they're getting it done a little bit with pitching, particularly tonight with Helling on the mound. But again, this lineup can be pitched too.
Well, Dave, another guy that they should look out for, Gabe Kapler right there. He had a huge late week last week. Was named the American League Player of the Week, and last night he knocked one off Bob Howery to tie the game.
Well, the one thing with Kapler, he started off the year against the White Sox in a tree. He was hitting everything. He threw the rosin back up, he would take it out. And then he went to the minor leagues. He went right into the tank. The one thing about Kapler is you can try and get in on him, but earlier in the year, he was pulling his hands in good. And Bobby Howery hung a breaking ball to Kapler last night to drive in the 2 runs to tie that son of a gun up last night. He is pretty quick, and he was the big part of that trade when he came over from the Tigers. The Rangers had to have Kapler.
Well, he's really a force right now. We're getting closer to game time. We'll be right back to put the finishing touches on the show, so stay with us. There's a look at John Garland.